Hello, welcome to Quilting Color. My name is Shalina. Today I wanted to tell you the story about my African Circles quilt. It's made with a large variety of African fabrics that I got from the convention center. This quilt represents my personality and my life more than any other quilt. And stay tuned till the end for a couple exciting announcements. So many years ago, probably about a couple years after I got into quilting, there was a convention here in Columbus, Ohio for the National Quilting Association. I believe that it was the first one that they ever held here. And so obviously I went to that. I think I spent all 3 days there. And one of the things that they had there, besides all the beautiful quilts and other vendors, they had a big booth just for African fabrics. And it was amazing to me. It really moved me because it was a taste of home that I didn't even know that I was missing. When we moved over here from the United States from Uganda, we were one of a few families that were here in the state of Ohio. So anytime that we wanted to get any Indian food or Indian groceries or Indian cassette tapes, we would have to go to Canada or New York and just do a annual shopping trip there just because it's not something that we can go very often to do. And so, we did that. We went annually to buy groceries and music. We could get some spices and some lentils and things like that. And so it had been many years since we moved over here to Ohio and when I went to the convention center. And so when they had that African fabrics there, it was a big taste of home that I didn't even know that I was missing. And so it was really nice to be able to see that. And there was a whole booth. There was one quilt that they had there. They had a mishmash of fabric all put together to make a broken dishes quilt. And at that time, I was more used to fabric with a very neutral background. And so I didn't really like the quilt there just because it was so busy. And I know, like in the 70s, we used busy fabrics then, but there was still rules about what you would mix and match. And so to me, it just seemed like the fabrics that they used were just a hodgepodge of things, and they didn't use the rules that I would have used to mix and match those fabrics. So I bought a whole bunch of fabric from the quilt show. I bought small pieces so I could buy a whole bunch of them, whole bunch of variety. And then they just sat there for a while because I don't really know how to use the fabrics. So I was just debating and deciding and hemming and hawing about what I could possibly do and how they would match each other and how to make something that was pleasing to my eye. And it took me a long time before I could get comfortable with deciding that I could design my own quilt, one that would fit the criteria that I wanted. So I decided to use a very simple design and make these circles out of the fabrics. And these circles, I don't know if they look familiar to you, but they are the size of a CD. So these were actually a CD that I had that I was using as a template for cutting around all of these shapes. So at that time, America Online was just coming out, and in order to be able to get the internet, you would have to get a CD that you would download onto your computer so you'd have access to the internet. And it was weird, but every week you would get 4 or 5 CDs. It was just overload of how many CDs you would have. And even if you were subscribing and actually had already downloaded the software, you would still get all sorts of CDs in the mail. And I wanted to use them for some reason, I just want to use them. So the idea kept coming up over and over again. So there was really nothing that I could do to say, no, I don't need a CD now. But I went ahead and used it and cut out all of these circles. And at that time, I'd also heard about this superstition or this tradition. I'm not really sure what it is or if it's even real. But I had heard that Africans like to have, they don't like straight patterns because then the devil can be, because you don't want to give the devil access to the fabric, to your quilt. I wish I could remember now, but I can't remember if it was that you would, so the devil would just get confused with a quilt that didn't have proper straight lines like this one is, just because it just kept moving from one place to another and there wasn't like a straight line for it to go through. And so when I put these circles together, I did not want to make a straight line of any kind. So There's some kind of semblance of order, but not really. And then when I quilted it, I also made these zigzag lines. I don't think you'll be able to see that, but um, maybe from the back you'll see. There's some random zigzag lines for the quilting that would keep the devil out. And just so you'll know, there's a lot of different cultures in Africa, and even if one person or one culture believed it, it doesn't mean that everybody in Africa believes it. I make lots of different types of quilts and lots of different types of quilting videos, and I invite you to subscribe so that you don't miss any of them. And then for the border, I just combine all the leftover pieces and just made a nice little combination of fabrics here for the same reason, just to make sure that, just to make it pretty, to add some interest to the quilt itself. I did add a hanging sleeve to it, although I still have raw edges on the side, but it still works as a hanging sleeve. And also I have a label. I used up some of the leftover circles onto the back, and there's the label here. Right here's the label in the middle of the quilt. And you can see that the quilt was finished in January 14, 2010. So this was a really fun quilt for me to make. And since I have made it, I've used it several times to hang up on my curtain rods that I have here. It's been in this room and also in the living room. And also this quilt has traveled to Indianapolis, and it lived with my daughter for a couple years. So there's been other history to add to the story of this quilt. Because the quilt layout is so simple, it seems strange to say that I designed it, but it's a great way to design a quilt at the beginning because there's nothing left to chance. I could see exactly what the quilt was going to look like when it was finished by just moving the circles around, and then when I was satisfied with it, then I could just applique them down. And so that just made it so much easier to design without the risk of making something that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to look. As you can see, there's lots of different fabrics that are being used, and I used the leftovers in the borders. This quilt was inspired by a quilt that Amanda Jean made called Circle Time. She also used circles from a CD, but she laid out her circles in rows and columns 5 by 7. She also used a CD as her template. She made her quilt with blocks while I made my quilt using just one background. She used safety pins to hold her circles down, and I used straight pins, which was not a really good idea because as I was appliquing down with a zigzag stitch onto the background, a lot of the pins were pinching me and falling out. When I put the quilt together, I did it the same way. I used a zigzag stitch around each of the circles as quilting, and also going around and around in circles. This means pretty much that I had to turn around the quilt over and over again, around and around the entire quilt, in order to applique the circles and also to quilt them. Then I just followed it up with some quilting in the shape of a zigzag around the circles and also a curve pattern. And years later, I thought that there wasn't enough quilting, so I added one more row of zigzag before I sent the quilt over to my daughter in Indianapolis. It's a great cozy size for a lap quilt, and it's been used many times for that purpose. Oh, one more thing. What I did with the circles is I tried a whole bunch of different backgrounds to put on this quilt, to put the circles on it. And I was really surprised to find out that when I tried to put it on like a beige or a neutral background, like a beige or a white kind of a background, all these busy fabrics competed with each other, and they were all trying to get attention. So I didn't really like the way that looked. And then when I don't know why I tried it on this busy fabric. This is a neutral background too, but it's busier. And to me, the circles, the different African fabrics really play nicer with each other with a busier background. And that's not something that I would have thought would work, but it did. And I'm really happy that I did choose this background for this quilt. You can see these circles are not fighting with each other. Um, they're playing nicely with each other now. And now it's time for the announcements. And wonderfully, both of these relate to this video. The first one is that Motherland Fabrics has announced that they will be coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan for their AQS Quilt Week in Grand Rapids, August 19th to 22nd. I've never bought any fabric from them. You'll be able to touch the fabric and see the quality for yourself. And the second piece of news is that AQS will also be coming to Columbus, Ohio in September. I don't know if Motherland Fabrics will be there or not, but one neat thing about the Columbus Convention Center is that there are lots of bathrooms for women. There were women on the board of directors who made sure that we would not have to stand in lines like we do normally. This has been a really fun quilt for me to make, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing the story about my African Circles quilt. My sister has asked me to tell the stories of each of my quilts, and I have been making separate videos for each of them, and I put a link here to the playlist so you can see more of them. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your support, and I hope to see you again in the next video.